How are you?
Good, how are you? Good, good.
Can you hear me
Much
okay?
better. Much better.
I think if you're on mute, might be me too.
I can hear you.
There, I'm off mute.
Okay.
It was me.
I was gonna say, I can hear you.
Oh my goodness. Hey guys. How's everybody? Happy Monday.
Thanks to you too.
Yes. It's been a Monday. I was gone all day yesterday, and so I'm catching up. There's Lori, and I know I saw Heidi and Kathy and Jody. Wonderful. Oh, so I just got off my daughter and her husband and his whole family, and my daughter has twin boys that are 5 and then a 2-year-old boy. Cool. And they're in Mexico, and all of the kids are sick.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And one of the twins, one of them has croup.
Oh no.
The other one has strep, but they think he might have Kawasaki disease, so they're taking him to the hospital right now.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
A private hospital in Mexico. So hopefully, my daughter is just, and the baby is the 2-year-old. He's okay. He's kind of got that barky cough too.
Right.
So she's calling me, she's crying, and then she's texting me, and I'm like, oh, I want to go help her.
No, you want to complain, don't you?
Oh my gosh. Like, she's just like, I want to come back to the United States. And they just left on Saturday.
Oh no.
So yeah. So I think once he gets some fluids in, and they can give him like, I think it's an immunoglobulin for that.
Mm-hmm. That could be scary.
Yes. I mean, yes. So they don't know for sure, but they're at a resort it's a really nice resort, and they have doctors there on site. So they've been coming and seeing him, and oh my gosh. So the 1 5-year-old's on steroids for his croup and his asthma. So he's like bonkers running around. And I'm just like, so
Oh, poor girl.
I feel like I want to do, and there's nothing I can do, but oh my gosh.
She's a vacation from her vacation.
She
Right.
will. Yeah. She definitely will. I know, I feel so bad for her, but anyway, so now I vented to you guys.
Fine. We're good.
Yeah.
Good with that.
Oh man. What I wanted to talk about tonight, and I want some feedback from you guys too, is, what is our purpose in life? Like, what is your purpose? And we're brought up, and I think those of us, obviously this age, that you get married, you have kids, you're a wife, you're a mom, you're, all of that kind of stuff. And that's supposed to be your purpose, but really it's not. I mean, like if your purpose was to raise kids, what happens when, and they do grow up, and they move away, and then you're a grandma, and that's a better job if you ask me. But, and so a lot of us, and a lot of you are in that position, and a lot of women that I talk to every day, they're like, okay, my kids are raised and they're out of the house, and now what am I supposed to do? And I think even when women have this career, so like my mom was a nurse, just like I am, and she retired, and she didn't know what to do with herself. She raised her kids, she has she has great grandkids, but it's like she didn't know what her purpose was. And that's why women, you might find this in your grandma, that they just want to make something, like they want to bring a dish to pass. They want to do something to feel wanted and needed. And that's like almost like their purpose at that point. And I know, talking with my mom, that's kind of like, she says, I don't know what to do. And so what she's doing now, she's doing a lot of volunteer work for the school. She lives close to a school, and then she does, my dad's a vet, and so she'll go to the American Legion and she'll cook meals. So and she was in the free clinic volunteering her time in a medical clinic that was a free clinic. And then with COVID hitting, that kind of like went away. And so, so I wanted to bring that up, like what's your purpose? And I mean, I can speak for myself. My purpose for many years was being a nurse and taking care of patients and saving lives and, all of that. And the healthcare system to me is pretty broken. And I just felt that it really hasn't treated patients very well. It's not really about the patients or the people. It's a business, right? It's the government, insurance, everybody drives that. And so that's why I stepped away, and I'm doing what I'm doing now. And in a sense, I'm more on the preventative side, and I want to help, and you guys know this, I want to help women like you become, look at, change your identity and your belief system into something that's going to benefit you and hope you find your purpose in life. And so, I'll get some feedback from you, and I shared my story and what my purpose is, and it's deep purpose too. So I mean, it doesn't mean that your career shouldn't be your purpose, but eventually that does end, right? You retire, and then sometimes what you want to do, you're traveling and you're that kind of thing. But I think a lot of women get lost in, okay, what's my next step? What should I do next? I don't know if you guys have anything that you want to offer about kind of where you're at and maybe what your story is, and maybe you're still trying to determine what that's going to be for you. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I think we forget that about ourselves. We're supposed to be
sometimes it changes.
It does.
It changes.
Yeah.
Mine started off as, I was going to be, wife and mother, and the wife thing was, for a little while. But, then it ended up being, I'm going to be a better mother than my mom was, which really wasn't a real high bar.
Oh, no.
No, well, we're just that's how I deal with that. So we joke about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, that is what it is, she taught us the type of parent we didn't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we took that side of it and ran with it. And a lot of us have. So that was my thing. And now my kids are grown, and one is down in North Carolina. The other one's here, but she's not going to be here forever. So then I had to kind of pivot.
Right.
And start doing something else so I started focusing on me. And then in turn, what I'm learning, I'm hearing a lot from other people that, you're such an inspiration, and you're asking questions. So it's kind of the direction that I'm going in is to help other women.
Yeah.
So
good. Yeah, it does. It can change. Definitely can change. Like I started a gym. I still have it. But it was more like, it was local, which is great. And it's men and women, and it's weight loss and nutrition, and it's all of that, and it's community. And I wanted to just be a little bit more of helping women like my age going through the menopause and all the things that we all are. And so that's kind of morphed and changed. And like I always say to you guys, your pivot, you're going one way, one direction, and things may change. And or you change your mind and then you pivot and you go the next direction. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all should continue to learn and grow even as we get older, because not only is it just that beneficial that you feel a little bit more relevant with what's going on, but it's the whole mind body connection too. The whole Alzheimer's, dementia, keeping that at bay if we possibly can. So there's, a lot of reasons for that, but thanks for sharing, Jody. That's important.
Yeah. Can I add something?
Sure, absolutely.
I have a favorite word, and one of my favorite words is resilience. And if you guys take the time to look up the definition of that, it really relates to what you and Jody are talking about as far as pivoting and, regrouping and being able to bend, but yet kind of, continue to have that focus as far as taking care of yourself. And, I'm in healthcare, And I can totally relate to everything you said.
Yes, you are, right.
I know. And I'm at end of life care at the moment, but I'm also at this new beginning part too with Emmett technique. And it's teaching people, how to relieve pain and discomfort by gentle touch, and they can do it to themselves. So
Right.
for me, I'm kind of looking at that beginning and yet ending, but really truthfully, it's that balance. I'm looking for who Lori is again and
Right.
realizing that Lori has to take care of Lori. So, I guess I feel like I'm a caretaker or caregiver, and a teacher, and I have to listen to that inside message that my soul has given me and speaking louder.
Right.
But anyway, that's
No,
that's
I mean,
wonderful.
that makes perfect sense. That I like that word resilience. It is, that's a perfect word.
I told that to my son that was in college, and I said, honey, look this up. He was in Olympic weightlifting, and it's like perfect. So
Right.
look up that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that it's okay to ask yourself, who is Lori? Who does she want to be? And finding that balance, because, with being in healthcare and, there's different, specialties that you can go into in nursing. So it's wide open, and being in hospice end of life care, it's exhausting. And
It is.
it's a high burnout. Just like I was in intensive care, I was in critical care nursing. Love the adrenaline and stuff, but there's a lot of death too, and dealing with that, and then with families and stuff like that. And so,
And it builds have that balance,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. What about you, Kathy?
Well, let's see. Never been married, don't have the kids, so I won't have the grandkids.
Yeah,
So it's been weird.
it's different.
As you get older, you're just kind of like, who am I? What am I? What's my purpose?
Right.
I mean, for 30 years, I was 911. So I had a purpose.
Right.
It was getting the help out there so that it can go on to you too, to take care of the rest of it. And then I retired from that, and I was kind of like, okay, now what?
Right.
So ding dong went into retail.
Talk about
one end of the spectrum to the other, but
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good question. Some days I just sit back. I'm like, what's my purpose? Who am I? What am I? Why am I here?
Now you live in Delaware, but you want to move, right?
Yes.
So,
but that part is scary too, because it's like, I know I can sell my house.
Yeah.
I was playing around early. I had new furniture delivered today. So today has been one of those days of sit and wait.
Right. Right.
Wait some more.
Patience.
So I was playing around on my cell phone. I'm like, well, let's see what's my zestimate for my home and my land. 351. I went, whoo, I don't know how you get to that, but I was like, but you can't buy anything anywhere.
Right.
It's like every place I keep looking, I'm like, you have to be on it immediately to get any place.
Yes.
Part of me feels like I'm stuck here for a while, which is driving me crazy.
Right. Could you rent somewhere for a little bit, or is that even hard?
That's even hard because I have family up north where I want to move to.
Right.
And they're just like, yeah, it's impossible.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can move in with them.
That's what I said. You take me and my 2 cats, please.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're in it's a little different than some of us, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so, that's why I remember when we talked earlier, before you joined with me, that you wanted to move, that wasn't where you want to stay. And so perhaps that will help you determine, what that, when you pivot to that point, what that will lead you to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But right now I feel stagnant.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have a great personality and a wonderful sense of humor and very outgoing. So you've got a lot of really good traits and a great personality. So, I mean, yeah, being a 9-1 in, taking care of all that talk about high stress, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cruise nonstop.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And then right into retail. Like,
Yeah. I need my head examined. At least, 911, you can hit the mute button and kind of say what you think of these nutheads calling in.
Right.
Retail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our company finally said, okay, y'all, employees, you can now start taking your masks off if you like. Oh no, I leave mine on.
Yeah.
Because when someone annoys me, they can't see what I'm saying.
Nice.
That's so true. I know. You could stick your tongue out at them. You can
Oh yeah,
all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
definitely.
Funny. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. But I mean, you're focusing on you. So that's a really good thing too,
Yep.
and being in the stress of the world, and retail really it's just a mess too, because you've got online and you've got curbside and you've got
Hmm.
all this stuff that we didn't have before,
Right.
to try and figure all that out. And some
And
of
then you got the chain supply issues and people
Right.
don't comprehend that. What do you mean you don't have bed skirts? We don't have that color bed skirt right now because,
right.
it's not coming in.
Right. Just like my son, they want to get a new refrigerator and they ordered it in January and it's in
Yeah.
April. I think they're going to get their refrigerator.
Well,
Yeah.
the couch I got today, I ordered beginning of January.
Yeah.
And when they contacted me last week, it's in. I'm like, yes, I want it now.
Right. It's crazy. And people, it's just a little bit of a different world. So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That resilient word.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
that resilience. Yeah. Yeah. So true. What about Heidi?
Next.
No.
Next. No, you're not. You are the next.
I think it's just a lot of what we've all been saying. I don't know that I would have ever said that I'd be doing, if you had asked me 10 years ago, would I be doing the work I'm doing? Oh, I probably would have said no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I always knew that I wanted to help people, but I work in end of life care too, but I have found that it's sort of been like the whisper, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
When things have happened in life and then that's like, it's like that transformation. That's my word. I feel like I'm always using, because it's like you come to a threshold in your life, whether we're here because I just feeling or looking for, and then we're presented with this whole new world that we never really saw before.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
I'm not going to be me anymore, because whatever this is has changed me.
Mhm.
And I've got like this, that's been the case for me. All of a sudden I'm in these situations like, okay, is this really what me working with people, families? And now I'm working in end of life care. But had I not been through that personally,
Right.
I think I would have known the aspects of it that are, just what it is.
Right.
And, as far as being a mom and a grandma, well, you can never predict any of that stuff.
No. Exactly.
True.
Not road. And so I think that too taught me that I can't live for anybody else but me.
Mhm.
I love my kids and my grandkids, but I also have to live for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's also helped me make a lot of other just decisions about things I want to do.
Mhm.
Where before, of course, it was all about them and their schedule and what would work for them. But I get to look at it differently now that they're all living their own lives.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The question is always, how does it serve me? That's what I keep saying. That's why I keep asking myself, how is this going to serve me in a positive way?
Right.
Yeah.
If it isn't, then the answer is no,
Mhm.
and not to feel guilty,
Right.
you know?
I get to even ask the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's huge.
It is.
is.
It is. And that guilt, I think we have guilt just from how we were raised too.
Mhm.
You know, my mom's always has a lot of guilt. And then I think she, you know, not on purpose, you just kind of pass that down where you feel guilty for making a decision that does serve you. And you're
Mhm.
trying not to be selfish, because it's not that you're being mean to other people, but you have to think about yourself too. I really like what you said, Heidi, live for me. You do, because nobody, you know, ultimately you're the one that has to make those decisions and take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Yes, you're going to get support, you know, from others, but you are the one that has to make those decisions. So yeah, not easy, but it's nice that we can talk about it here too. And we're not, like, I'm not the only one going through it. You guys aren't the only ones. We all go through that whole, like, what is my purpose in life? And what happens when my kids grow up and they move out of the house, and now what do I do? You know, what is that? So I know, Pat, what's your purpose in life?
I don't have one. That's a question that you'll ask yourself forever and ever.
Yeah.
And it changes with each
Right.
passing
Mm-hmm.
decade or whatever, and
Yes.
what is ever going on in your life. But
So true, doesn't
I
it?
think my purpose in life now is to be the between my son and his child.
Okay.
There's a lot of, I mean, he's grown, 41, a lot of big time issues there, and they'll continue to be that way for years, I'm sure. And I think he was not having children. He wasn't supposed to have children. It's a real long story, but in any event, he does.
Mm-hmm.
And she's remarried. So I'm the go-between. Not between him and her anymore. I had to take myself out of that.
Right.
But
Right.
between him and the child, because he can only see the child in my home, my presence. I have to be there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's a biggie, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I feel that, I really do feel that that's my purpose right now.
Right.
And that'll
Right.
change. That'll change again, because things are always changing.
Right. Right. And she'll get older. She's going to grow
Well,
up.
she's 5.5, and now there's going to be another separation between them, I'm sure. That just happened. And I don't know what that's going to mean, but I believe that I'll be the go-between, you know.
Sure.
It's life. There's a lot of crap.
Right. There is. And that's, that I'm sure you think that I'm glad you're there for her and to be that person.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
oh, for sure.
well, there are times when I wish, as much as she's a joy and I love her and all of that, I do wish sometimes. It's a long story, but anyway, we don't need to go there. But I take care of myself.
Yeah.
Whatever I do now is mostly for me.
Right.
Even with his issues, he calls, whatever the issue is. Oh, that's good luck, I say.
Uh-huh.
Good luck. Hope it works out.
Yeah.
You can get physically ill from trying to take care of others.
Yeah, for sure.
You can get physically ill, and I have.
Mm-hmm.
So no more. I want to live. I want to live a little longer.
Right, and you will, and you've figured that out. That sometimes it takes a while, and sometimes you get sucked back into that too. that
Yeah, and
stuff. You know?
I'm just saying that if you've configured these things out in your 50s, that's terrific.
Yeah.
But just know that life keeps changing
Mhm.
and shit keeps flying, and excuse my language, and you still have to take care of yourself. And there are times when all that crap happens, you start to feel guilty.
Yep.
Maybe if I would do this, or maybe if I did that, or maybe this or that and the other thing. But we don't have any control.
Right.
We don't even really have control of ourselves. We have semi-control.
Mhm.
God has the rest of it.
Yeah. And you know, like you said, things happen. Life happens and changes, and we have to roll with the punches. And like what Lori said, that whole resilience is
Yep.
being resilient. I really like that word. And being able to pivot and change and be okay with that, because like
And
you
doing
said,
a lot of gratitude.
yes.
You have to do a lot of gratitude every day. I mean, because every day something crummy can happen. And if you
Right.
don't find the things in the day that you can be grateful for, what's the point?
Right, right. And I've been doing a lot, and some of you I've talked to, journaling at night, and that's one of the first things I journal is what I was grateful for today. You know,
Me too.
because there's so many bad and nasty and negative things that are happening in this world and the world and in our personal life, but there's a ton more that we should be grateful for. And it might be just you're grateful that the sun is out, or you're great. It's just those things. I'm grateful you have food on the table, grateful that, you have your health and you make a good.
Grateful that you woke up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
I was gonna say that.
Right. That is so true. And it's important to realize that. So yeah, I do gratitude. And then I talk about, what are the positive things that happened today and what are the things I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I don't dwell on, oh, I should have, could have, would have done this today. I look at, okay, what can I do different tomorrow? Oh, sorry. There's 4. Yeah.
Grateful for 4.
Yeah. I have two of my kids are just walking in and he's a little rambunctious, but so yeah, it's all of that, like you said, thankful you wake up, because how many times did you hear, so-and-so was found, or,
Right.
I just recently have 2 friends that were, their dad was found in a recliner. I mean, I guess that's a good way to go, but still, he thought he was going to wake up the next day and do the same things. Right. So yeah. Good points. You guys are, and it was something I wanted to talk about, because I mean, I talk to a lot of women all the time, and I'm sure you guys have friends and you think about it too. And, that whole, being positive and grateful for things you have. But also that doesn't mean you stop growing and stop being better and all of that. So, no, it's all good.
No, look at all that I've learned just through this program.
Yeah.
At 70, I thought I've exercised in my whole life. I thought I knew it all,
Sure.
No.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's another thing to be grateful for, that we're still learning.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And just having an open mind and not closed off.
Yeah.
Right. And I think for me, just having that open mind and not judge people for things, because you're not walking in their shoes too. There's a lot of judgment, and there's also a lot of blame. Blame somebody for our problems. Blame oh my gosh, look at yourself. Like first look at yourself. Oops.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all. So yeah, I think it it's that whole mindset thing. We talk about that too. For sure.
And to be able to give yourself grace or others.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because I know yesterday I was with my, I have twins too. I don't know if you remember that. So
yes, I do. Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, those those nights come back like they were yesterday.
Right.
I'd be like just going out on the, deck in the cold, bundled up, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, yesterday I was feeling really great, just working my program, excited to be a part of this group. Went on a walk. We went like shed hunting for, deer antlers.
Oh
or
dear.
whatever.
Yep. Mhm.
I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to knock these steps out of the ballpark, right? And I was with my husband and 2 sons and his fiance, and we had our 2 dogs with. And our blue heeler is awesome.
Okay.
And got a black lab. And the blue heeler stuck with me, the whole time, even though she's my husband's dog. But at the end of our journey, our walk, it was probably 4:30,
Uh-huh.
and there was a huge laceration on her back leg. And I did not even know this happened because she's such a strong work dog and family, she was like there for me. Okay. And didn't yelp or anything. Well, needless to say, and I'll sum it up, but I had to take her into the emergency vet clinic, and it was 1:45. So that crashed. And,
Sorry.
$850 later, and I'm like, okay, I'm so grateful. I might walk, and I'm not going to give up, and that's okay. Things happen, but yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no. How is she doing today?
Well, she's wearing the cone of shame.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's confined to the bathroom unless one of us is with her, because she has she sees things, and she likes to run down.
Oh yes. Yeah.
My light switch, and she ran down too, and I'm like, no.
Oh wow. Yeah.
She's hanging in there.
Yeah. Oh man.
Letting go of that guilt for me, because all of this stuff that I had good intentions to do that didn't happen because it wasn't in my control.
Right.
And to be accepting of that, and just to say, you know what, I'm grateful that I'm taking it a day at a time and moving this. So
Right.
anyway.
Right. No. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Can't feel guilty about that. You didn't cause that to happen. It just happened. And
Is that what the topic was, about being guilty? Because it took me 18 minutes to get in here today. I missed the beginning.
No, the topic was, I wanted to talk a little bit about, we talk about what's the purpose in life? What is our purpose? And is our purpose because we were kind of purpose when I was growing up was you get married, you have kids, you become a mom and blah, blah, blah. But that your kids grow up, and your career, you eventually retire. And so what do you do with your life? Like, what is that quote unquote purpose? What's my purpose? And so like for my mom, when she retired, she was a nurse. She just felt like she lost that. That was her purpose, was to raise kids and be a nurse. And so when she retired, she didn't quite know. And now
I wouldn't say that. No, I was just going to say, I wouldn't say that my granddaughter is my full purpose.
Yeah.
When you retire, you do so much soul searching. Is anybody here retired yet?
Retired, reworking.
Yes.
Retired, reworking. Yeah.
Oh no, see, I'm fully retired.
Yeah.
I can't sit still.
And
I got to be doing something.
Right.
Yeah, and I do a lot. I'm always moving. I found a million things to do when I retired. Things that I said I didn't know I could do.
Sure.
But you just got to try. You got to put yourself out there to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Really wonderful.
Yeah. Like I told before you were able to get on, was my mom decided to do a lot of volunteer with kids in the school and things like that. And now she's just blossomed. Like that was her thing, but it was healthcare, helping people. So she's still helping people. And that really is her purpose,
right.
To do that. And she does care for herself. She's pretty healthy and very active. And so she has that down too. And, we get to that, and maybe purpose isn't the right word. I just didn't know what else to call it, but kind of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do I really want to do?
Purpose is pretty deep.
It can be. Oh yeah. It could be, you want to promote world peace. Well, that might be a purpose, but you know, it's,
How you
you know,
gonna
what
do
is,
that, right?
So you're right. It is a very deep, and it changes, like you said, and just being open and willing to be able to do that and adjust your life. And
Well, there's one thing that I read from a guy named Eckhart Tolle. I don't know if anybody's read him.
Mhm.
And it's all about time and the future. And the past is the past. You cannot do a thing about it. The
Right.
future is the future. You have no clue what's going there. And that doesn't mean you can't plan for it.
right,
But the now is the now. And that's when that's where you need to be,
right.
in
Totally
the
agree.
now.
Totally agree. And that's,
Totally.
yeah, because you get this day back, right? So you make this the best day possible. And you wake up in the morning and you're grateful that you're here. And then how can you make this day the best day? And sometimes, sometimes you don't have control. Like things happen to you, but at least you're here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have a
I like
thought.
to say, make today your best today because you'll never have it again.
That's true.
Right.
True.
Yeah. It goes so fast too. Like today, my day went just super fast. But I had a blast. Like I was super busy and I had a really good day. It just went really fast. Don't they all? Yeah. So
I was faced with not necessarily a dilemma, but with left me a little perplexed. Let's put it that way. When I started this whole thing, I think this whole journey with getting fit and getting healthy and those two words.
yeah.
This last week. So my question to everyone at this point is, does fitness in your brain, do you equate health with fitness?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
okay.
And
No,
and
I don't.
I mean,
I do not.
Okay.
I do because I'm a newbie.
Yeah, that's
Just
Lori.
admitting-
Welcome, Lori, to the group. First week.
For me,
I think-
I needed some guidelines and some boundaries, and I needed to take ownership of me again, and I needed to say Lori is important and Lori does count and Lori needs to come first.
Okay.
And in order to do that, I mean, there was many things, but I'm there, and it's the timing, and I'm tired of having this fupa, when I bend over and tie my shoes. So
Right.
I needed the fitness to feel better. And so I guess for me personally, and I can't speak for everybody else, obviously, but I think, being more fit and having those guidelines and accountability makes me feel healthier.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I think you can be fit and still have health issues.
True.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Right.
plenty of people who are very fit and have had heart attacks. And, I'm very fit now and I'm fairly healthy, but I do have some health issues that I got to keep my eye on.
Sure.
And being fit is never going to take them away.
Mhm.
But if you're not fit at all, then I could see how you wouldn't feel healthy.
Right.
Right.
Go hand in hand, but they are definitely, they do have different meanings to me.
That one kind of it knocked me back on my heels earlier this week
Yeah.
after having had a conversation with my cardiologist on the phone. And when I say conversation, I mean he almost wasn't my cardiologist anymore because I had one more person tell me, you're just fighting genetics. And I'm like, all I asked was, does it have to be a statin? Isn't there another option besides a statin for the cholesterol? And he didn't want to hear
Red
it.
yeast.
So there, I mean, so we're having some issues with, the cholesterol going back up and everything else is good. And I'm saying, this is not making any sense to me. Why is that so high when I eat how I do? And I'm, it's low fat, low cholesterol. I don't eat the only, sugars and whatnot that, or anything that would affect my glucose come from fruits. It's natural. It's not
Mhm.
flour and cookies and rice. It's
Right.
it's not any of that. So
So what
I'm
I
trying
have
to
read,
have a conversation. Yeah.
as far as the whole genetics and that, it's about 25 to 30% genetics, your
Mhm.
life. The rest you can control. Like, so if you think about that, if your mom is diabetic, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be.
No.
Right.
Or if your mom is obese, that doesn't mean that you have to be. People
Right.
use it as an excuse.
Mhm.
There are some things that are a little bit different, more so, like cholesterol. Familial, yep. So like my dad has high cholesterol and kind of borderline blood sugar, but he's healthy. He's
Mhm.
81. He takes, I think, niacin for his cholesterol. I don't think he's on a statin.
Mhm.
Doesn't do anything for blood sugar, just watches his foods and things like that. But my grandfather had it too. And so, and I think my grandma on his side. So I'm watching my cholesterol, and I eat really, really good. And my cholesterol is a little high right now. So there is definitely some things to that. That doesn't mean that you have to like go full bore and jump right onto medications, but there is some genetic factors to some of, but certainly not everything.
Well, let's put it this way. My bad cholesterol was 193.
Okay.
So, and I went,
Mm,
excuse me?
yeah.
Excuse me?
Wow.
I said, okay. But, I'm on the other medications, and it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I do my research.
Right. And you should.
And I know that this one can cause that, and this one can cause this. And
there's no reason why you can't ask questions as a consumer of healthcare. Doctors do tend to want to put you on a pill. Like, here you go, here you go, here you go. There's no reason why you can't question that.
So we compromised with a lower dose statin, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stay on it.
Right.
I don't have to take it at all, but I compromised until I can get in there to see him and say, listen, this is not.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes high fat diets, when you hear about keto, high protein, high fat can make your cholesterol higher. So keep, that's.
Yeah. Well, mine's at what, 50 grams of fat a day or below.
Which,
and I'm usually really good at keeping it down there. Same thing with my cholesterol intake is down.
Right.
And sugar. And so it's not making sense.
Yeah. So imagine if you weren't doing all that though.
No.
So, yeah. So if you look
I have a friend who does red yeast for the high cholesterol. She refused to take medication, and it really made a difference. But you'd have to find out if it interacted with any of your other meds.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's interesting. I've not heard that before. Obviously, fiber in your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an interesting question.
Because my thought.
And your blood work goes up and down all the time. I mean, I told Diana a year ago, they said I had stage 3 chronic kidney disease. I was like, I feel great. And then we waited took about a year, and then my labs came back perfect. And the kidney specialist, I called him to say, do I need to see you? He goes, no, you didn't need to come in the first place, because the numbers it depends on sometimes what the heck you ate the day before or the week before.
Yep. And your hydration level. A lot of kidney, if let's say you just aren't drinking enough water and you're a little dehydrated, it'll show in your labs. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you too. Most of us are at the age where we have or have dealt with menopause.
Yes.
So how much of this has to do with that? And it's not a cardiology issue. It's a menopause issue. Yeah.
Well,
there is some hormonal effects. Yeah. And many physicians, unless you specialize in that, they don't put those two together.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Yeah. Good for you, girl.
There's my purpose.
I was just gonna say, here's your purpose. I love it. Well, you guys are all amazing women, and you have big purposes in your life. You really do, whatever, however you want to view that term, but there's lots to live for. It's first of all yourself.
Oh,
You have a ton to live for, and you're doing it. And you can't really put a label on it.
Right.
But I talk to so many women, and it's, I hear it over and over. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. What should I do? And, so what should you be doing? And you will determine that. Each and every one of you determine what that is right now. And like Pat and Jody said, it's going to change. Changes all the time.
And for now, at my age, it's not what should I be doing? It's what do I want to do?
Right.
I don't have
Right.
the should, woulda, coulda for anybody anymore.
Right. What do you want? And that's a good one for you, Kathy.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? We all know kind of what you want to do, but as years go on too, like Pat said, what is that?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. I
Even
love
just
having
for
this.
today, who did something that they wanted to do today? Who they actually did it. They wanted to do something,
Me.
they followed through and did it.
I did it.
Yep.
I did 3 things I wanted to do.
Awesome.
Good.
I wanted to replant poinsettias that were falling apart. I wanted to go to the gym, and I wanted to punish myself for all my eating that I did over the weekend. So I did an extra set at the gym.
All right.
There you go.
3 things.
Yep.
Me
I
too.
love it.
I actually went to the gym.
You did. Good.
I did.
Good for you.
How was it?
A hurdle. What's
How
that?
was it? How was it?
It's just a crappy little gym, but you know what? It felt
Oh.
damn good when I was done.
Yep.
It felt good.
Yeah. And if you wanted to do it and you did it, that's like, bam, check that off. I did that today, and that's cool.
Yep.
Good. All right,
Well,
guys.
I'll tell you what, wait, I got to tell you one other thing because I like to make everybody laugh. So, with all the weight that I lost, blah, 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 I wanted to wash my car the other day. So I did the whole inside, and I think it was 80 something degrees here, 85. I was sweating bullets.
Well, I'm not really feeling sorry for you though.
I went inside and I put on my bathing suit and went out on the driveway and washed my car in my bathing suit.
Yes.
Very
Pat.
good.
Way to
First
go.
time. And you know what I said? They're probably looking out their windows saying, holy crap, look at that old lady. All the curly hair like a permanent in her bathing suit, bending over. I did it.
I love it.
The Amazon driver drove by like so slow. He was probably horrified and ran home and told his family, oh my God, what I saw today.
And this happened.
This happened. I could be on YouTube with my big old wrinkly ass sticking out.
Whatever. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
That's great.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh.
You do. You got to have fun too, right?
You gotta
Have
laugh.
to have
at
fun.
yourself.
Well, anybody who watches the replay, we'll have to just tell them, wait till the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for that, Pat. And you guys
Oh.
keep doing what you're doing. You're doing fantastic. Reach out when you
Okay.
need something. Don't wait until wait when you need something, you need to reach out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Have a good
Bye.
one. All right. Bye.
I am.
Good night,
Night.
everybody.
Have a good week.
Night.
Yeah,
You too,
bye.
thanks.
You guys too.